what did the Braves do with Donaldson? He's not hitting. Okay? So let's let NCRT come back in there. Let's make the defense better. The Braves are in first place. And Newcomb, it looks like, is going to get a start this weekend. He's pitched pretty well out of the bullpen. The Braves pitching staff, wow, great young players. And we're going to see what they do with Newcomb. I think he is intriguing for fantasy. SPRP. But if he does well in this start coming up this weekend, will they then keep him in the rotation? And we know he's a strikeout mongrel. He will strike out batters. Of course, he'll walk his share, but he'll strike out. And if you're in a K per 9 league, most of us are, then he's someone that you want to take a look at. All right, let's move on to the Central Division. We talked about Milwaukee. We've talked about my main man, Moustakas. What a game they had last night. I told you, we heard the audio clip earlier. And we'll go through the division. Then I want to talk about second baseman after we go through the rest of the National League. The Milwaukee Brewers are leading the division by half a game this morning over the Chicago Cubs. As I said earlier, Milwaukee won in Houston last night 6-3. The Cubs trounced. Wow, it was ugly in Colorado. The Cubs trounced the Rockies 10-1. They play in Los Angeles tonight. It'll be Lester and Kershaw. Wow. Okay. The Cardinals are 5 games out. Lost to Miami, like we said. The Reds are 8 games out. And here it is. Did you hear me? I said the Reds before I said the Pirates. Why did I say that? Because the Cincinnati Reds are out of last place in the National League Central for the first time this year. This may be the first week of the season. Maybe this is the first game of the season. But they're in 4th place. They are now 3 games behind St. Louis. And I've said all along, Cincinnati could move into 3rd place. Particularly if Miles Michaelis keeps pitching like he did. Jim Ross says the Reds suck. I'll tell you what. They may, but they're in 4th place. And they've got the second best run differential in that division. So, Jim, all I'm saying is they're not going to win the division. But they can be players against other teams. And they're only 3 games behind St. Louis. Okay? Here's the deal, guys. So what's so great about the Cardinals this year? What have they done so great? They're 33-33. They're average. Cincinnati's 30-36. Just a little bit below average. I think you've misunderstood me. I'm not saying the Reds are going to win the division. I'm not saying the Reds are going to make the playoffs. I am saying they could finish 3rd. Particularly if St. Louis's pitching continues to underwhelm. And what are they doing? Carlos Martinez, he could start. And they got him languishing in the middle relief. Are you kidding me? While Miles Michaelis starts games. I'm not drinking. The St. Louis manager is. Come on. Give me a break. He is not managing that club. Chappie, help me out here. I know you agree with me. Okay? Puig. What if Puig gets hot? And that's an if, but we could do ifs with every. What if Judge comes back? All right? What if Puig gets hot because he hasn't been? Can you imagine that ballpark? And you guys, don't look at it where we are today. Look at it going forward. It's going to get hot in Cincinnati, and that's a bandbox of a ballpark, and they're going to score runs, and their pitching isn't that bad. I think they could finish 3rd. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Phil Chappie says he's busy picking up Carmar. Carlos Martinez could be a big player, but they've got to put him in the right position. Now, St. Louis should finish ahead of the Reds in the standings. They should. But the way they're being managed right now, something's got to change. They're languishing. Okay? And the Cubs and the Brewers continue to perform well, and St. Louis is probably the most inconsistent team in that division, and their run differential is +7, while the Reds is +37, and the Reds are going to continue to hit. That's all I'm saying. I don't think either of those teams make the playoffs this year. But a team I do think will make the playoffs is the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yeah, they're 45 and 23. They lead the division over the Rockies and the Diamondbacks by 9.5 games, and they lead the Padres by 12. Now, the problem with the Dodgers, and of course, this could be the problem with any team. The Yankees have had injuries. Oh my gosh, how much have we talked about that? The Astros are dealing with injuries. Okay? And so, Dave Roberts yesterday was talking about his recently injured shortstop, Corey Seager.
We're going to get some more tests tomorrow, MRI. So early kind of diagnosis is, I hesitate to even put a number on it, but it's kind of like the 2+. It means we'll know more once he gets a test tomorrow, the MRI. But obviously very unfortunate is the way he's been playing and what he means to our ball club. So as far as timetable, I think that we'll know more tomorrow. I'm not too versed in hamstring kind of verbiage, but so we'll see. And with what he's done to overcome a couple of surgeries this past year and to get back into really good playing shape and productive playing shape. So I feel bad. We all feel bad for Corey, but we'll know more, and he'll get back on the rehab trail, and we'll get him back as soon as we can.
Probably out till August is Corey Seager. So if you are an owner of Seager, he has been so hot over the last 15 games, and it's so sad to see him out injured. But that's, I guess we'd say a part of the game. If you're a Corey Seager owner, though, where are you going now? Take a look at your waiver wire. If he played middle infield for you, well, there are a lot of options at middle infield, okay? And I want to spend some time now digging deep on second baseman. And I've talked about, and I've asked the question, I've not gotten any feedback in the chat room on what second baseman is better than Mike Moustakas, and how does he compare to the other second baseman in the league? Well, let's start with comparing him to Javier Baez, okay? Runs scored, Baez 44, Moustakas 45. Doubles, Baez 18, Moustakas 14. Home runs, Baez 17, Moustakas 21. Extra base hits, Baez 37, Moustakas 35. RBIs, Baez 46, Moustakas 45. Walks, Baez 16, Moustakas 21. Game-winning RBIs, they both have 7. Now, Baez has a better average, 297 to Moustakas' 278. But the other three categories, listen here, OBP, on-base percentage. Moustakas has a better on-base percentage than Baez, 346 to 336. Slugging percentage on the season. Moustakas has a better slugging percentage than Baez, 598 to 571. And OPS better than Baez, 943 to 907. Yeah. Okay, and Baez, Cha-Cha, you may be right, but I'm talking about fantasy numbers. I'm not talking about defense. I'm just talking about numbers. And, what I'm trying to get at is I'm not discrediting Baez. I'm crediting Moustakas. There's a difference. And Chappie, I got it. Javi can play shortstop, but he's also second base eligible. And I'm just trying to give some comparison on what a great value Moustakas could be. Okay? Baez may save runs. I get it. But in looking at numbers, if you're looking at a second baseman, I'm just trying to say to you, he compares well. Let's also compare him, if you will, to Whit Merrifield. Moustakas has more runs scored. Moustakas has more hits. He has more home runs, 21 to 7. Okay? Now Merrifield's a stolen base guy. He's hitting 292, but Moustakas is at 278. And Moustakas has a better OBP. That's right, a better on-base percentage than even Whit Merrifield. Merrifield's 343, Moustakas is 346. He's got a better slug, he's got a better OPS. Okay? Another player, though, other than Moustakas at that middle infield, it's Ketel Marte. All right? Cha-Cha, you're right. He's a good fantasy player. For some reason, he goes late in drafts. And I don't know if it's name. I don't know if it's reputation. I don't know what it is. But all I care about in fantasy are numbers. And Moustakas has the numbers. Look at Ketel Marte, though. 42 runs scored, 44 singles, 14 doubles, 3 triples, 17 home runs, 34 extra base hits. He's hitting 284, an 874 OPS, a 542 slugging percentage. No, he's not Mike Moustakas. No, he's not Javier Baez. He is Ketel Marte. And again, I'm bringing up really good players. I'm only comparing them, not contrasting them. I'm not knocking a player. I'm promoting these players. I'm just letting you know, these are guys that if you are looking to trade, they're not big names. You know, some fantasy players are just so enamored with a name. What if you could work a trade where you had Javier Baez and you could get 2 for 1, and one of those 2 is a Mike Moustakas? That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to give you something to think about this morning. So take your closed mind, unzip it, open it up, and just listen. Look at your league. If you're in first place, keep what you got. But if you're in third or fourth, and you're dealing with a team or a leader in your division who's name recognition happy, you might could pull a trade. Think about it. Don't know your leagues. I just know I'm trying to help you think about things to do. All right, let's look at some games going on today in the major leagues. Can we do that?
So now we come to the point in the show where I want to talk about the games that are going on today, players you need to look for, who's pitching, all that kind of stuff. You know, we do it regularly. And there's some interesting information here I think that you may want to use, particularly if you're a daily fantasy player, but even if you're looking for players to put on your roster season long. Here we go. First of all, let's start with the Yankees, okay? I'm going to do Yankees, Dodgers, and Cubs right to start with, just because I know there are a lot of fans out there pulling for those teams. Today, a guaranteed rate field in Chicago. It's J.A. Happ, the tall lefty, 6-3 on the season, 4.48 ERA, and he's going to square off against former Pirate, former Yankee Ivan Nova, who is 3-5 with a 6.28 ERA. Now, batters that you want to look for in this game, and there are a few that I think are significant. First of all, for the home team, the Chicago White Sox, I want you to take a look today at Tim Anderson, who is 7 for 13 in his career off of J. Happ. That also includes a triple, a home run, a stolen base. That's a 5.38 average. That's a 9.23 slugging percentage and a 1.462 ERA. Pretty good, huh? I also want you to take a look at James McCann. See if he's starting. Okay, he's the catcher. Right-hander. You got the right-handed batter, the left-handed pitcher. He's 5 for 16 off of Happ. 3.12 average. He's also hit a home run. He's had a double. Okay? Those are 2 guys right there. And, of course, I have this man crush these days on Jose Abreu, who is 4 for 13 off of Happ, 3.08 average. Those are 3 guys, all right-handed bats, that I really like today for the White Sox at home against J. Happ. And, you know, Happ has been up and down all year. Who knows what you're going to get. Now, for the Yankees, I love DJ LeMahieu today. Gosh, do I love him. He's 6 for 9, with 3 walks off of Ivan Nova. That's a 1.505 OPS, a 667 average. He's even got a stolen base. And DJ LeMahieu's not really a base-stealing threat. Do you agree? But look for him today. So those are some players in that game tonight at 8:10 from Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. The Cubs and Dodgers square off again. And there's a pitching matchup. I'm telling you, you're talking some lefty veterans. You got them tonight at Dodger Stadium as John Lester, 5-4 with a 3.56 ERA, squares off against Clayton Kershaw. And as you would expect with those 2 veterans, I've got some plate appearances here that I want to talk about. First, for the visiting Cubs off of Kershaw, Anthony Rizzo, 6 for 16, a double, 2 homers. Yes, Okay, 374.